Andrea, how are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing great.
Yeah. You seem really at peace right now.
Yes, I'm at peace.
Let's talk about the book. The book is called The Moment, as in the moment that verdict was read, right?
Well, actually,
Or
yeah,
there are a lot of moments.
That was a moment. Hearing the verdict was a very big moment.
Is there before that moment and after that moment for you?
Yes, yes, absolutely. Before the moment is, an Andrea that just wanted to be believed, just wanted to be heard. I wanted a voice, and the verdict brought me closer to finding my voice.
Why did you want to write this book?
I wanted to write the book for a few reasons, actually. One of them was I didn't want my memories to be lost to time. I didn't want to have to go and, be many years on in my life and be digging for facts and evidence and articles and...
It was fresh.
It was fresh. It was fresh, but I also realized when I came home that I had a story, to tell. And part of telling that story was finding my voice, but also it was what was going to bring me true healing.
For many, many years, you didn't have a voice. You weren't able to speak publicly. I mean, you were literally under what they call a gag order because of your civil case. So why now?
Because I realized that you have to give up your privacy to have a voice for change and to stand up for others.
You call the alleged assault the most defining event of my life.
I was younger and I had my free spirit and my charm and, straight shooter. That was me, and everything changed in that moment, that night. Everything changed.
How so?
My trust. I think trust is really affected. So being able to trust others, the shame, the guilt, the fear. This was, it wasn't easy for me to just run to the hospital to get a rape kit done.
Of course.
It was very difficult, and it took me, over a year really, until I came forward to speak to my mother about it, to process those emotions. And so I was a different girl, literally overnight.
There's a moment in the book, a tough moment that really struck me. You share a moment in late summer 2017, after the first trial had ended in a mistrial. You say you couldn't get out of bed, and you thought, what's the point? I thought, what am I doing here? Maybe it would be better if I had never existed. You write. Was that a real rock bottom point for you?
Yes. Yes, it was. I think when you go through something like that, and as difficult as it was because of the way the trial ended in a mistrial, there were 5 days at least of jury deliberations. And it was really hard on me. It was really, really hard on my family. And I think, it was the first time that I actually just cried, that I actually just fully understood the impact of what had happened. And what I mean by that is like the stress and just not being believed, and the impact of that on my mental health. And I think, it was a very low point, and I really had to dig deep to get myself out.
Late June, the word comes down from the Pennsylvania Supreme Court. Where were you?
I was at my loft in downtown Toronto. I had just sold my loft. It was up for sale. And I was putting about. I think I just came home from a walk with my dog. And the phone rang. And it was Kate Delano, who was the Director of Communications for the Montgomery County District Attorney's Office.
Did she tell you he would get out of prison?
In not so many words. I think she kind of said, we'll keep you posted, but he's going to get out of jail. And I don't know when, but it could be today, but I got to go. Bye.
And your feelings in that moment?
Oh, geez. I was really shocked. I was really shocked. Disappointed. Disappointed.
You knew Bill Cosby's team was trying to get the conviction overturned. Did you ever think it would actually happen?
Yeah. Yeah.
You really thought it could?
I actually contemplated and thought, you know, God works in mysterious ways. You know, I think you kind of have to like balance out the victories and the losses, and that's how I see everything in life. You win some, you lose some. It's the athlete in me. And I thought, Andrea, you've had so many victories. You got to see the guilty verdict, the sentencing, the sexually violent predator status. And I actually thought, you know, this could be one that I lose. This could be one that we lose.
The Supreme Court of Pennsylvania basically said that the criminal charges filed in 2015 never should have happened. They shouldn't have been filed. It went against his due process rights. Can you understand that?
But what I don't understand is how this legal loophole was there. How can a district attorney, without a judge's written immunity, enforce a decision on a backroom handshake? How can you give any credibility to that? Nothing written down.
All the time you put in, the years that you put in, what you put your family through on this journey, I wonder if I might feel like, wow, was it even all worth it? I went through all of this, I got a conviction, people believed me, and now it's been overturned.
I've come way too far to go back to that place, to wonder whether it's all worth it or to have regrets. It was worth it. It was worth it. All the pain, all the heartache, all the reputational damage, not only for me, but my family. But it was worth it because I didn't feel alone. I had a whole community, a whole army of women and other survivors, strangers, family, friends, who were right there with me.
You write in the book that you just wanted to be believed. You wanted your story to be believed. Do you still feel that you were believed, even given what's happened with Bill Cosby since?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I won't go back and try to rewrite my story any other way. I was vindicated. I was validated. And that's what we need to do for survivors. We need to validate them.
Bill Cosby celebrated this moment as a victory, a full victory. I mean, he and his spokesman and his lawyers came out and basically said, this is vindication. I always said I never did anything wrong. Now, see, the Supreme Court believes me.
Well, everybody is entitled to their own celebrations, and we can't take that away from anybody. But it doesn't change the fact that he's a sexually violent predator, and he will always be my rapist.
When you watched him celebrate, how did that feel?
Disgusting. But again, didn't surprise me, given the level of the arrogance and having no remorse during the time he was incarcerated. Absolutely zero remorse for what he did to me.
He has said that he will never show remorse because he, in his words, never did anything wrong.
He's a sexually violent predator who basically was let out of jail. And that has not changed.
Do you try to avoid seeing him?
I do. I do. And there are moments that I can't avoid, like when his team calls me a liar. If I see it somewhere, you know, I might get triggered. I might not like it. But I just don't have the time to pay attention and to allow my mind to go to that place.
Are you concerned that that's going to have a chilling effect on other women who might say, oof, I'm not going to go through that. I'm not going to report something that happened to me. I'm not going to go through a trial.
Yeah, I do. And as I sit here today, I want to send a message to not let this deter you from coming forward, from getting the peace and the healing and the closure that you need. What we need is more people to support, to provide resources, and to come forward and allow those voices to be heard.
It's part of the work you're doing now with your foundation. Felicia Rashad, his co-star on The Cosby Show, she made headlines with a tweet after his release that said, "A terrible wrong is being righted, a miscarriage of justice is corrected." What do you make of that?
It's disappointing to hear somebody who is in such a powerful position herself not to support survivors.
She got pushback, particularly from her alma mater, Howard University. She wrote a letter that said, in part, "My remarks were in no way directed towards survivors of sexual assault. I vehemently oppose sexual violence."
Good. I'm really happy to hear that. That's the statement that needed to be said.
Would you speak to her if she wanted to learn more about you or talk to you?
Sure. Yeah, why not? You know, heart to heart, woman to woman. And I'd be all for it.
Have you ever spoken to Camille Cosby?
Never. Never.
Do you have anything to say about her through all of this? I mean, she has stood by Bill Cosby adamantly.
I almost would want to say I'm sorry, because I really feel for people. I've forgiven, I've found peace, I've moved on. There was nothing happy for me about seeing somebody put in handcuffs and put into a van and taken to jail. That doesn't make, there's no happiness there. It's all sad. Lives impacted, families ruined. And I think just on the outside looking in, I'd say, I'm sorry for you. I'm sorry.
Bill Cosby's 84 years old now. His spokesman has said that he might go back on tour, that he might do shows again, that there might be a book, there might be a docu-series. What would that mean to you?
What it would mean to me and what it would mean to the women are two different things. Good luck. Good luck.
It wouldn't bother you to see Bill Cosby on tour, coming through Canada, or writing a book, or in a big docu-series that gets attention?
I don't really care, but anybody that gives him a platform to speak, to joke, rape is not a joke.
There are people who believe that Bill Cosby was wronged because of his race, that this was a racially motivated takedown.
It wasn't. It happened. It happened.
You're saying the crime, the alleged
The crime
crimes happened.
and I don't see any evidence that it was racially motivated.
You're doing a lot of work now around healing, helping survivors heal. What does that look like?
It just looks like giving them the resources and the tools to be able to get the support that they need, whether it's emotional support, legal support. We've developed an app within our foundation that is available on the App Store, as well as Android, that has free legal assistance. If you're looking for a lawyer and you've been sexually assaulted, harassed, you can get free legal assistance within the app. And so I think technology, you know, I never had those things. Looking back in 2005 when I came forward, I didn't have an app that I could go to. I had to go and Google and research, where do I go, where do I turn, what does civil mean, what does criminal mean.
You're trying to make it easier
I am.
for anyone else who has survived the sexual assault.
Yeah. I'm trying to make the journey a little bit easier. I'm trying to provide resources that I didn't have.
When Bill Cosby was released in June, did that change your purpose at all? Did that change what you now want to do?
Yeah, it did. I really felt that getting survivors to have a voice, and a voice for change, and a voice for advocacy, I think it makes me want to fight that much harder.
You write, "We cannot let moments of injustice quiet us." You feel strongly that this can't dampen the work that you've been doing.
Not at all. We have to persist. Persist.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.